Hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry, Mowers and Blowers. No, this is not part 5 of my LTV-10 Barra drive. I am walking away from this for a bit. Not to mention the fact that I still have to wait for my float needle. Anyway, today I've decided I'm going to put an engine in my excellent condition John Deere LA105 that I got for free. The engine that it came with had a busted connecting rod, and it had completely damaged the innards of that engine, so I had to part it out and sell parts and throw out the block. So this excellent John Deere tractor is the second of 2 tractors that have no engine. It just needs an engine. Got a battery, everything else, wiring harness. All it needs is the engine. So where am I going to get an engine from that's good enough for this? Well, you guys know my buddy Pete Lombardi, right? We're trading. He gave me a Kohler Command 12.5 engine. He says it works. And some money, or he's giving me some money, and I'm giving him and his dad my mint condition Yardmachines 5.524 dual stage snowblower. I was going to sell this for $450, $500, but you know, Pete and his dad have been very good to me, so if they want the snowblower for an engine, I'll do it. I need an engine. They've been good to me, I have to be good to them. That's prid pro quo. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Anyway, so gotta find some engine bolts, and I'm gonna just pop that sucker on. Lickety split. Just lifted it on there. Holes seem to match up perfectly. Gotta figure out the wiring harness and all that. Maybe charge up that battery. I gotta find some engine bolts somewhere. But yeah, he told me that this thing's ready to go. Works, runs great, new carb, new stator. He says it has a lot of new components on there. I don't know where this goes. I don't even really know what it is. I've never seen that before. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out all this stuff. 12.5 Kohler. Of course, to make room in the garage for me to jiggle with that thing, I had to move out some of my snow blowers. That's right, I moved them from the yard to the garage, and now back from the garage back to the yard. Just moving things around, you know. Got 6 Snow Commanders, that Jacobson 26, and this piece of junk Yardmachines. Started right up though. Two of the tractors in the back. So my LTV-10 is gonna have to wait. Made some room in the garage for when I keep that John Deere. Still have my track drive over here, my Brute Murray 524, the one I'm giving to Pete Lombardi. Got 2 more Snow Commanders over here. Can't wait to work on that one. That's my DYT 4000. It's got a Kohler Command 25 V-twin in there, but we think both connecting rods are gone. But it spins freely without hitting anything, so we're thinking that it busted really well, and all I need is 2 connecting rods to get that baby going. If not, I'll have to find an engine for that one. There's my Murray garden tractor. It's got a 14 or 16. It's got a 16 opposed twin in there. Has a bad Nicky carb in there, which is causing it to run rough. It runs, drives, mows, just not that great of running condition, you know. So I do need a carb for that. I was initially going to put this 14 opposed twin into here, but it's not really designed for it because of the cables and the throttle linkage and all that. It's just doesn't match it well. Not to mention this one needs some work. Also needs a carburetor too, plus the top cowling. This engine needs a lot of things, which is why I haven't gotten to it, you know. But things may come. Right now I gotta find some bolts for this thing, bolt it on, and see if we can fire this baby up today. That didn't take long at all. I found the 4 bolts that he gave me. It didn't look like engine bolts, but he said it came off of there and it fit perfectly. So engine's on there nice and snugly. Snugly, is that a word? Thought I'd check out the carburetor. It's a brand new carburetor. It's a little dusty because Pete Lombardi likes to leave his shit outside in the rain, which I cringe over, but whatever. Anyway, clean filter, good box. Check the Earl, that's for Chris's small engines. I checked the oil, nice and clean, brand new. I managed to put the throttle cable on, and fortunately for me, it's one of those things where you go forward all the way on the throttle and the choke is closed, right? Smooth, perfect. Choke closed, full throttle. Smooth. Okay, now for this wiring. I'm thinking this green is the kill wire. This black thing is the wires running from the stator into the voltage regulator. This wire here comes out, and this red one should attach to the battery. The battery has a harness over on the other side, where it's this wire that goes back to the battery terminal to charge the battery. So it's got to be this red one here, right? Not sure. Probably. So this wire has got to go somewhere. This wire here has got to go somewhere in there, right? And then this wire here is coming off of the solenoid and onto the starter, right? And got to attach the kill wire to one of these things. I'm not sure which one it is. I'm going to find the other end to this. Maybe I have one. I actually bought a wiring harness for my Husqvarna 2448T. Because it was a V-twin, I had a bad diode, so I bought this harness with the diode on there that kills both magnetos at the same time, as opposed to not having a diode and you'd have to attach another switch to shut off the other cylinder. Well, I sold the tractor before I installed it, so I have this extra harness. I mean, I paid $18 for it, which I don't really want to use for this because it's really not for this, you know. So I guess I could just take this part with the kill switch, I'm sorry, with the diode, and save it for when I need it someday, you know. The diode. I know a lot of people need that. So I could just cut it right there and attach the kill wire to a single strand right there. That's assuming that this goes to the kill switch, you know what I'm saying? I have to go look at the schematics and make sure that the wires are right, you know. Problem is, you know, look, you got 2 yellows. I mean, one looks like it has a white line. Can't really tell. Same. Alright, so this one is yellow, and this one has a white stripe. You got the red. So I'm assuming the red is the power. Connect this one to this one from the voltage regulator that recharges the battery. This black one, I'm assuming, goes to this white wire that takes it to the switch that shuts off the engine. This green and gray one. The green and gray go to this, which is designed for the carburetor float bowl solenoid, you know, the anti-backfire thing. So we don't have that, so I can just cut that. Yeah, that's probably it, but I want to make sure because I don't want to fry nothing, you know. So I just connected the lead battery wire from the solenoid to the starter. Okay. And I'm going to test the battery real quick just to see if I need to charge it while I'm doing research, you know. Got to multitask. Alright. 12.57. That should be enough for one start. You know what? I gotta find a key for this thing. I know this is the same key for my Scots, but I used it for the Scots. So I bought another, I wanted to buy another key, but they were like 20 bucks or something with the switch. So I bought a used one, a used switch with an old key from a John Deere. Hopefully that'll fit. I bought that for 8 bucks. That's definitely worth it. See guys, you gotta be economical about what you buy, you know? As long as it works, I don't really need brand new. I'm gonna do some research. So another issue I have is the fuel delivery. So I was just about to hook up the fuel line, you know, get a hose and go directly into the carb. And then I thought about it and I said, well, wait a minute. This is a rear gas tank and it's not gravity fed. So once you have the fuel line here, how is it going to get back up there, you know? I mean, you'd have to have a lot of pressure in that fuel tank and a full tank of gas just to push that fuel into there. So I'm thinking that this original one, the original engine on this, had a fuel pump. So got a new fuel pump that I bought for that Scots that I had, and using the pulse suction from the valve cover that's designed for that, and that normally went into here, you know what I'm saying? But I'm pulling that out, attaching a hose to the fuel pump, right? That sucks, pulses, and it takes gas from the gas tank into the fuel pump and shoots it into the carburetor. So I think, well, I hope that'll work. I know it looks a little strange here, but I'm just testing it to see if it works. I'll button it up if I know it works. Honestly, I don't really like fuel pumps, man. It worries me that it doesn't work, you know, that too much gas is going in or something like that. Well, we'll see what happens. Let me go inside and figure out what all this shit is. Now I forgot what this was for again. Oh yeah, this is probably a kill switch. Yeah, kill switch, battery. That's it. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go find that key and maybe we'll start this up now. So I just went out and checked it out. I couldn't really find anything useful, to be honest with you. I'm just gonna have to test it, you know. So right now I'm looking at this red wire here. That's probably going to go to the battery to recharge it. That's coming from the stator. It's the only logical thing because the stator right here is the voltage regulator. 2 stator wires going inside, 1 wire coming out, right? This one's going to red. So it's got to be going to the battery to charge up the battery, right? This green one here is the kill wire. That goes to, I think it's purple for over there. But either way, man, I'm going to try to start this up now. Wish me luck. Hope it works. Oh. So here's the thing I bought for $8. Hopefully this key fits. It does. Here we go. So it needs to, you know, crank a little to get gas into the carburetor to fill. Now I do not have a pulley on there yet. It's just the crankshaft, that's it. You know what? I'm gonna put some gas in the carburetor. You know what? I'm gonna test first to see whether or not the fuel pump works. So I disconnected the hose from the fuel pump to the carburetor. Let's see if fuel shoots out when I crank. No fuel. I had to help it a little. I sucked it out. So I think it's pulsing now. It was shooting some fuel out. I better put a battery charger to this because it's going to run out of battery. Got a battery charger to it. Give it a couple of cranks more. Here, so check it out. I just disconnect the hose again and crank it. See if fuel comes out. It does, see? Just shot some carb cleaner in there. Let's see if it helps it. Alright. I don't think this fuel pump is really working that well. I'm going to go steal the original one out of my Scots. I'll be right back, Boba. This fuel pump is the original one I got off of that tractor. Put that other one back in there. So this is OEM, John Deere. See? Briggs & Stratton. Maybe this one will work. Boba, the official dog of mowers and blowers. Alright, so I'm going to put the original John Deere fuel pump on here and see what happens. Well, it started for a little while. It doesn't seem to be getting enough gas. Doesn't seem to be getting any fuel, man. just doesn't seem to be getting any fuel. It's weird, man.
So I got it working with my electric fuel pump, but I have a feeling there's too much fuel going in. So if I squeeze it, if I squeeze the amount of fuel going in, it may be better.
See? That's continuously pushing it in. Look at that. See, now it's flooded. So there's just too much fuel going in there. This pump pumps way too much fuel into there that it floods it. I would think a thinner fuel line might work. I put a thinner fuel line. Flooding. Oh boy. So I've had just about enough for one day. I have tried 3 fuel pumps, 2 regular ones and 1 electric one. The electric one pushes too much fuel into the carburetor that it floods. The other 2 black plastic ones don't give enough fuel, and you know, it runs and starts great and then runs for like 5 seconds and then it stops because there's not enough fuel. So I'm all ears, fellas. If you guys know what's wrong or you have a solution for me, maybe the electric fuel pump should not be 2 amps, it should be 1 amp, so that it pushes less fuel into it. I mean, honestly, I'd rather have the plastic one, but it just doesn't seem like it's getting enough fuel, you know. And I've checked the fuel tank and everything seems to be copacetic. That rod in there, I guess, sucks the fuel here, see? Nothing seems to be obstructing that area, and with the electric fuel pump you could see it sucks fuel just fine, you know. I don't know what that orange thing is, but it's not bothering anything. There's been plenty of fuel in here until, you know, now it's kind of drained a little bit, but yeah, so the electric fuel pump, too much fuel floods the engine. A original John Deere, not enough fuel gets in there. But anyway, the engine seems to run great, and I wonder if it has anything to do with the pulley not being on there. I don't have a pulley on there, but that shouldn't make a difference, right? Anyway, go in the comments, guys. Tell me what you think, what my problem could be. I'd appreciate it. I was pretty anxious to get this thing running and everything, but you know, the fuel delivery system has issues, and I guess I'll wait to see what kind of solution we can find. Anyway, so I got my tractors back in here yet already, you know, and the snow blowers are in the backyard. Anyway, see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. I'm waiting to hear some of your ideas, guys. Help me fix this fuel delivery system. See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.